Hi everyone, I'm Tina with Two of the Inner Wild. Checking in again to express some kind of a routine. We're looking for more stability. We're looking for the powers of November 4. I've been seeing that a lot in readings, um, both from myself as well as others, and it's just insane how that goes. But anyway, I wanted to use that energy finally so that I could move forward onto another focus. Um, anyway, I thought I'd decide to go with a vibrational healing card, okay? And the intent is to get better, okay? Not just with the process, well, primarily with ourselves, but secondary to the process of actually conducting this. So, thank you for bearing with me. I hope you are well. I'm feeling a lot more balanced, and I didn't want to do these cards for a while, or even the inner child healing for a while, because, of course, if I'm not balanced, then I think, well, the last time was an exception. I have yet to load it, but I think there was a message kind of sandwiched in between what I was going through. So anyway, we're back to trying this again. I feel like it is correct because as soon as I started the camera, it was 5:55 p.m. on July 5th. I'm like, okay, well, that's got to be something here. There's got to be something to this. So anyway, let's see where this goes, where this takes us. For a while, I've been very, and I know other tarot readers will get this, especially if they're very meticulous with card keeping, the quality of their cards and the longevity, and for a long time, this riffle shuffle, that whole thing, I've been very hesitant on doing my shuffling in that manner because I just don't like my cards getting wonky. That's just the way I am. So I'll do like a hand over shuffle normally, right? But it doesn't work with these like Cadillac sized cards, right? What is that? It's everywhere on the bottom. So, okay, as a refresher to this, the basic idea is sorry, I got a message. I got distracted. Sorry. Okay, the main idea of this is to take in the vibrational healing of this. And sometimes, when you look at something at first glance, I think this is always the case, but whenever you look at something at first glance, you don't actually consciously take in all of its meaning. There's a subtle effect that's that what's a better word for absorb? That's basically penetrated within your being. Okay, that's the concept of it, that everything has vibration. All energy is vibration, right? So when you receive an image, let's say, that's why it's so important to regulate what your inputs are. Not just dietary, but also what you watch on TV visually. Oh my goodness, what is going on here? Okay. I guess that's a large sage leaf right now, but it's burning healthily, so something fell off the bed. I don't know what that means, but we're just going to go ahead and say it fell off the bed. But everything has vibrations such that I'm on a bed, right? I look over, and then I sit back down, and then something that I thought was secure, which is like a fanny pack on, the edge of my bed, it didn't look like it was impeding any. It wasn't approaching any kind of threat, but I sit back down and it plops over. So there's a ripple effect to all, right? I didn't perceive that, right? But still it was yet affected, right? So, okay. Anyway, I just had one sip of coffee since this morning. Or I didn't even really have any this morning, but I guess, you know, I'm more of a night person, and the evening has just awoken. And even though it's still daytime out, which I'm really craving to go outside again, even though it's already out for a few hours, besides the fact, okay, that coffee has got me. And why did I even say? Okay, so it's important to take in, to regulate what you're watching, even if it's for entertainment purposes. And that's the whole reason why I don't watch. I've been doing this for the past year, definitely. Past couple of years also, you know, just kind of weaning myself off. And I noticed how much more, I don't know, how better things were, like, without the causation or, you know, a suggestion of turbulence. It really helps. Like, I used to watch, like, basically chain smoke, binge watch American Horror Story, which is, you know, that's not too terrible, okay? But, you know, it's unnecessary disturbance, right? And and there's so much more that you could feed your mind with that is so much more productive, that would add to the greater whole. And, you know, it's not just all, you know, strict regimen, you know, there's still fun and games, but, you know, like, mind what you feed yourself, right? Like, oh my gosh, I was wanting to watch this movie for so long. It received like so much hype, and guess what? It did live up to its hype. And it was one of those thrill seeker movies, but it was like really morbid, cult based. And I think you guys might know what it is. It's more recent. It's called Midsommar. And because I'm just so tired of all of those like scary movies that that just have a lot of cheap shots to it, you know? It's just it's laziness, like overdone, like come on, come up with something more creative. And I think that was really what that was appeal to me, like what could really shake me and stir me, that, you know, that didn't integrate laughter. Oh my gosh, I'm so that, you know, that truly stayed solid to its genre, right? We didn't have a mixing of a blending, right, to capture two different markets, right? Because I think that's what, you know, people do. They blend different aspects in order to get the most viewers, or, you know. So anyway, I'm not talking about YouTube here. I'm talking about like movies, like film, right? And when you get into film, it's more of like a very specific type of artistry. I feel, anyway, it should take a higher degree of artistry in concept, and anyway, it should. So I was just really tired of how it played out with like the new school horror films. Like, I was not into The Grudge. I'm sorry, I wasn't into that. I wasn't into the Blair Witch Project, even though my videos sometimes come off in that manner. I just watched one, I was like, whoa. But anyway, it's all fun, right? You know, there's only so much that you can really agonize over, and this whole thing is not something to be agonized over, honestly. It's either you're here with me or you're not. I'm trying to be as present as possible. Now, Spirit, it reminds me. Spirit, thank you for coming along again to help moderate this conversation between us and our spirit guides to make the most out of our presence together. In collaboration, we'd like to go ahead and protect this space and move forward with our highest selves, our best foot forward as our highest selves. We are looking to ascend and to seek greater heights, a higher perspective, and act like so. So if you could please help us out with this vibrational session, healing session, we would be greatly appreciative, right? We will thank our spirit guides and spirit. Spirit guides can consist of our ancestors, our angels, archangels, star families, if you believe in that, right? And our elders, you know, our recent passed on loved ones, and who else? Spirit animals, gosh, so many entities of love and light, right? We are divinely guided, and any negative entities need to step out of our circle. Your presence is not permitted, right? And how do I say this? With the power invested in us, with our free will, we oust you from our circle, and you can stand outside of it in order to learn, to grow, because we are inclusive of this learning process, of the improvement process of the collective whole, which means energy is energy, and you are part of the collective whole. So we send our tough love out to you. What? I know it's untraditional, guys, but think about it, right? Love is love. It's not discriminating, right? Okay, so, let's knock again. Spirit, spirit, please send us a card. Oh, wow. Did you see that? It did a somersault. It hopped on my leg, my left leg, and it jumped off and did a double, triple. I don't remember how it goes. Okay, 54 is a... I forgot to tell you guys. Okay, well, we're just going to go ahead and move forward with this because we're just going to get better. We're not going to get hung up, okay? 54 is our number. It is awareness. 54 goes down to 9, which is, as far as I know, to boil it down, 9 in numerology or tarot, it's completion, right? Is it tarot? I think it's numerology, I'm sorry. Okay, so as far as vibrational healing and being mindful of your inputs as equal to your outputs, what you produce, what you project, is a mirror of what you intake, right? So I know some people are like, oh, you know, my environment is a, you know, I feel like I'm losing myself in my environment, that, you know, I'm starting to bleed out from my wounds because, like, I'm so, you know, I feel so attacked by society and its standards and its ways, its culture, its what they breed, right? How they project, and you know, we are part of the collective whole. So, you know, it's not to say that we are the source of the problem, but we definitely have a part, have a stake, have a share in how that speaks, like how it's magnified, right? Even though we, our response is a big deal. It matters, right? Our vibration matters, right? Our energy, how we place it, what we allow in and out, right? So with our free will, I think this is why we got this. This is awareness, right? And I think in, you know, another read was saying that awareness, like if you have an addiction, right? Okay, I think everyone has a vice. Okay, let's be straight with that. You know, it could be something very like work could be a vice. You know, it's an addiction to like a source of escapism, right? Something where there's an expression of imbalance by too much input and not enough balance of other priorities to define a more our intended output, our truly intended output, like our end goal, our end game, right? It's clouded by all of these impurities, including the active imbalance, putting in too much in one basket, right? Okay, so awareness. I feel like that's why we've got that. But let's go ahead and take a look at the whole, okay? So what we're looking at here, as far as vibrational healing, this is also part of color therapy. So we're using sacred, these cards use sacred geometry and color therapy in combination with like the symbolism behind the shapes, the colors, how it's intended placement in each card. It is projected. It is sacred geometry reflects that of the creation of Mother Nature, okay? Mother Gaia, Source. And so this is supposed to also help you with your intuitive abilities, because my perspective is not 100% yours or any other's, right? So who am I to tell you exactly what this means? So although you might not have any prompt response that's invoked in order to express what this truly means to you, that's okay. You're still taking in the energy, right? You know, as a child, as a newborn does with the whole world. You're busy taking in these pieces of information, collecting it on a conscious and subconscious level, right? So, all right. First I take in, I focus on the whole image. I focus on, now focus on the form. Then the colors. Then the tones. The texture. What that represents to you. Now what I see is a cube, a block, of course, outlined in red for, let's say, the root chakra, right? I've been seeing that a lot in my recent readings, that we're looking at foundation here. We're looking at building anew, right? So maybe that's a carryover message, right? So I'm looking at that. It's somewhat translucent, okay? And then I see another one. It's a pyramid, like facing up, and also a pyramid facing down, if you can see that. It's illuminated though. Now pyramids are considered connection with the divine, you know, in ancient Egypt. I can't elaborate too far into that, but that's just a rough sketch, okay, of what I know. And then inside, it looks like there's also a gem illuminated, not just from the foundation, but the divine, you know, the collaboration of this as above, so below, almost like the top and reaching the top of the pyramid, and then the bottom also. Encased is this cube, which is like the foundation, which is within us, right? And you see all the blend of colors, and but what I see also in here is that with this divine illumination within, once combined together, there's a refraction within this cube, like it's almost like glass, so it's like refracting this light from the divine, and it projects inside, and I'm seeing the refractions almost like a gem-like quality. Excuse my dogs, I'm so sorry. They get offended, and I don't want to yell right now and blast out your eardrums. So, because I'm very militant when I yell. So that's what I'm seeing here. And 54 is of old world, which is, you know, it's really about form, rules. I'm thinking more of like, if I were to place a tarot card in it, it would be the Hierophant, rules and, you know, regulations and, you know, structure, just very basic as far as the world is concerned and functioning, right? I'm not saying the Hierophant is basic. I'm just saying that encompassing in the world, the expanse of like the concept of it, that it's very basic form, right? It's still good. I'm not bagging on it, but the new world projects a state of spiritual ascension, integration, right? The melding of the two. And that's why when you receive the card like this, we're looking at the new world's presence, which is clarity, right? So first, right, the basic is awareness, right? And then when we want to progress into a further state of understanding, not just awareness like, okay, I did a bad thing, okay, I can go ahead and correct it, but and, you know, I understand that it's part of the collective whole, right? Or awareness is part of the collective whole. But once you integrate it, you're actually in practice. And that, in practice, you experience it. And it really cements everything down. Like, I just experienced that. The whole encompassing effect of how I bring awareness, how I integrate awareness into my reality, and how that projects further out, how that reverberates, right? And that echoes out with like the whole ripple effect and all of that. And then you find the clarity, right? That's just a new world state. Okay, so let's go ahead and get back to this. Okay. Ooh, I'm gonna put that there so you can just stare at it for just a little bit longer while I flip to the page. 54. All right, I'm back. Okay, so awareness. Now that you are more integrated, your awareness is increasing. That's you as the microcosm, not the macrocosm. Okay, your awareness is increasing. Trust your capacity to see multidimensionally and I'm going to slow down here, and penetrate beyond appearances. Your challenge is to stay aware in all circumstances, whether pleasurable, neutral, or painful. Excuse me. Yes. Yes, because when you experience like any ill feeling or even any heightened feeling, you know, it can be a challenge to remain aware. Like sometimes you're just so caught in the moment. Like the power of now is very it's crucial to the way of life, but not to get so caught up in it that you lose your focus in all. Like there's a selfish like retreat within the experiencing the power of the now. I don't know how to describe it. I think that's the best way I can describe it concisely at this time. But yeah. Excuse me. Oh, gosh. Get these. Okay, so sorry, I just got another distraction. Please forgive me. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, so it can be a really big challenge to remain aware, or, you know, in another term, mindful, right? We're so used to the habit of being like inhibited in self, like very, not just guarded, but retracted, almost like kept to self, right? Like it's improper to do otherwise, right? Unless spoken to, that kind of thing. Okay. You may even find that your awareness is present even during sleep. Don't be taken in by what people want you to see or think. That is very important in this world today. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yes. Have faith that your awareness reaches behind masks and disguises. You may be in a difficult situation, even imprisoned, but your awareness can go beyond the walls if your attention persists in steady intention of neutrality. Now, when you just take out neutrality, because I was saying something about neutrality in one of my recent readings that I have yet to post, but how in taking a stand, neutrality is as equivalent to complacency in a sense, right? But in here, we're looking at the context of it. So your awareness can go beyond the walls if you're in, I'm sorry, you may feel in, yes, let's try this again. Okay, you may be in a difficult situation, even imprisoned, but your awareness can go beyond the walls if your attention persists in a steady intention of neutrality. Yes. Reactive, okay, let's further this. Reactive emotions such as anger or blame will quickly diminish your awareness. Yes. So this is like the count to 10 rule or countdown from 10 rule, right? To cool off, right? Cultivate serenity. There you go. And neutrality, and your awareness will liberate you. I did that in a reading that was recently published. And I know like how weird I felt about that, and like just thinking about it like makes me want to cry. But I'm not gonna do it. I just felt very sensitive about that. The whole point was to see if I could really transmute those energies, to lift them, if I really committed to them in a way that I was taught, newly taught anyway. And after, I'm telling you, like hundreds of trials and errors, this is not a figure of speech, this is hundreds of cycles. It worked. It worked. And you know, I can always say like, had I known about it sooner, I wish I would have done it sooner. I wish, you know, I would have learned earlier. I wish, you know, this and that. But you know what? Life is a process. And, you know, you don't question the process. Especially if you've seen how things come full circle. If patience is a virtue, that's why it's a phrase, to be able to see how things come back like a boomerang effect. Yes. So how that energy returns, right, to respond, right, rather than react, right? Okay. Respond is equal to, right? Okay. So attention, see the way out. Okay, so in looking at this card, okay, this also integrates a form of vibration through speech. Okay, so it's going to pair with a couple of things here. So if you could just tune into this as well as this verbiage or this passage. Just focus, you know. Okay, visualize awareness as an all-encompassing power to be alert and vigilant. See the way out and penetrate falsehood. Behold your own deceptions and illusions and see them for what they are. Change distraction and dullness into clear attention. Your affirmation is, I am increasing my awareness of the truth of what is happening. We'll say this again 2 more times. I am increasing my awareness of the truth of what is happening. I am increasing my awareness of the truth of what is happening. Good job, everybody. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and proceed to the medicinal paths, but it's probably going to take another good 20 or 30 minutes. Now, while I know that you know, at first glance, this might not get very many views due to the longevity of, or the duration of the video. I'm going to cut this into 2 pieces now, okay? So this will give you a taste of what, you know, how applicable this is, and then part B will be the part of suggestions to heal and how. Just kind of like giving you like a little roadmap on how to better heal, how to integrate this into your lives. Thank you very much for tuning in, and yeah, we'll just go from there. So if you like this message, please hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notifications button so that you know when another video comes out. And what else? Comment, of course, comment if you have anything to say. Don't hold it in. Reverberate, right? We're all here to learn, and you know, I enjoy all that stuff. And I'm sure many others do too. I mean, there's common interests, right, that are hidden and yet to be surfaced, right? So anyway, have a good day. If this is where we end, then hopefully I'll see you next time.